Hi guys, welcome to Naresh IT, and this is Sudhakar, and today in this video session we will discuss how to create a new database in SQL Server. Okay, so in the last session I show you how to connect it to SQL Server. Okay, now after connecting to SQL Server and later I want to create my own database. How to create. Okay, so how to create our own database in SQL Server. Okay, so that we will discuss here. But before that, the databases I can create it in two ways I can create it. Okay, one is CUI based environment and the second one is called as a GUI based environment. Okay, so the two environments basis how we can create a new database in SQL Server. Okay, so today we are going to discuss this topic in this video. Okay, so let us see now. So in last session I was given how to connect it to SQL Server. So the same steps I am going to follow here. First of all, I want to connect it to my SQL Server and later I am going to create my database. The last session what we discussed, if I want to connect to my SQL Server, then I want to go for my all programs. Okay, you know the search button, otherwise you can go to your all programs. So after going to all programs, you just go to for your SQL Server Management Studio, that is called SSMS. Okay, so this icon will be getting now. Okay, on this icon you just come out and click on there. Once I was click on here, okay, so I show you the connected to server window was open. Okay, in this all the server type, server name, authentication, whatever it is there, so that all steps and all options should be selected. After selected this all options, I just go to connect, but before connect I'm showing here I'm going to connect to my SQL Server with the Windows authentication. Okay, so now later I just come and click on connect button. After click on connect button here, now we are going to enter into server environment. You can see now. So after enter into server environment, that what I said, if you enter into server, then immediately Object Explorer window will be open. Okay, so this is my Object Explorer window. Okay, so I will show you now the Object Explorer window was come out like this here. This is called a Object Explorer window, what we have it here. So in this Object Explorer window, the whatever the Object Explorer what is there, okay, in this Object Explorer window, so now you can see if I want to open my connection, the tag was there, the connection link was there here. So this was, if I want to open this, once I want to expand this, then you can see there are different kind of folders was available now. So every folder was have some name and every folder we are going to using to store their related information. So first folder what now here, databases folder was there. Okay, and in this database like security folder, server objects, replication, always on high availability management and integration services catalogs, okay, and SQL Server agent. So these are the common options and common folders when you install SQL Server software, and when you go to Object Explorer window, these common folders will be available. Okay, so after that what you want to do, first I will go to my first folder in this databases folder. So this databases folder, I just if you go to select and expand here, so once I expand here, okay, some folders was there like a system databases and database snapshots and report server temp DB was there here. But here in this database folder, if you carefully observe, there is no user defined database. Okay, so now what I am doing here, I am going to create one database, okay, for our session. Okay, but how to create a database, okay, that is very important to know. So now we will go to, I will show you how to create a new database in my server. Okay, so I am going to using here two environments, CUI and GUI, because I already said to you the SSMS, okay, the SQL Server Management Studio will go to provide two kind of environments. One is CUI environment and one is GUI environment. Okay, so the two environments how to use to create my new database. Okay, so first one I will show you how to create a new database by using CUI environment. Okay, so by using CUI environment means, you know, the CUI environments, okay, it's completely depending on characters. Okay, that means if I want to do any operation or any database operation do you want to perform in your SQL server, okay, so you must and should be needs to write some query statements or queries you want to write. So whenever I am going to create my table or create my database or create some other objects, okay, for those creations purpose, if you use query statement, then it is called a CUI environment based are you created. Okay, so now what I am doing here, now I am also using same to same. Now I am going to writing some syntax or query, okay, to create my new database. Okay, but you know, if I want to write, okay, the statement or query, then you know this in your front end side. For example, front end side I will take now. In front end side, what it has happened, okay, when you want to write a C program, C++ program, otherwise Java or C#.NET programs. So these programs, if I want to write, okay, then you should be use some editors. Yes or no? So how we are using editors to write your the program code, okay, in the same to same in my backend side, in my database side also, whenever I want to write my query or statements, I should be need some editor. But that editor how to get in my SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so that I am showing here. If you want to write your query, first of all I need a editor. So that editor I am going to taking now. Okay, so what is my editor here? How you will be get editor means a simple the thing was there here. You just come out. So once if you entered into SQL Server, then you just come out and see in your menu bar in the list. Okay, so one option was there here that is called a new query option. So this new query option, whatever it was there in your main menu bar, on this option should be go and click on that, because once I click on new query option, then it will go to open editor. So this editor we called as a query editor. Yes or no? And this editor name we called as a query editor, and this editor especially the database programmer we are going to using to write and execute our queries. So whenever the user want to write queries or commands and later to execute those queries and commands, then I must and should be need this query editor. So this editor, when you want to click on new query option, then you will get. So now I just come out here. I am going to click on new query option now. Once I click on new query option, then you can see one white screen was open. So I will be minimize here Object Explorer, and this you can see this is completely white screen. Okay, so this white screen simply I can say this complete white screen whatever it is there. So this is completely I can say it is a query editor, and in this editor now I am going to writing my queries or any kind of the TSQL programs. Okay, that all you can write in this editor. Okay, so after writing queries, then later you will execute your queries in this environment only. Okay, so now after getting this query editor, okay, the query editor window, then what I am doing here, I am going to write a small syntax to create my database. Okay, so that means what I am doing here, I am going to creating my new database by using query. Okay, for that purpose only I require this editor. Okay, so now, so before I want to go to create my new database by using query, first of all I will give a small the syntax how to create your new database. The syntax we will discuss first of all. So now I am going to write here my syntax how to create a new database through query. Okay, so now I just come out here. Okay, syntax to create. Okay, syntax to create a new database. Syntax to create a new database. Okay, so now I will give the syntax here how to create a new database. Okay, so now I am using here my syntax I am going to writing now. My syntax is what it is. Okay, the syntax is I simply say create database, and now I want to send database name. Okay, so now this is my syntax how to create a new database in SQL Server. Okay, so based on this syntax I am going to creating now new database, but careful observe once again the syntax create database and database name. Okay, so now so by using this syntax what I am doing here now I am going to my SQL Server environment, and here I am going to write here Okay, but before I want to create, once again I will show you in my databases folder what exactly it was there. So here the folders, two folders are there here, system databases and database snapshots, and later two servers are, the database servers are there, that is called a report server and report server tempdb. So these are two databases and two folders are there. So now I am going to create my own database I am going to create now. So now I just go to write as per my syntax. So create database, and later I want to send database name, but in place of database name I can send directly my class db. Okay, so I was given my class db, and later after writing your query, then what I want to do, this complete query I just selected. After selected this complete query, then come to here, one option will be there. If you find out carefully, the execute option was there. Otherwise, you can also use here fi keyword from your keyboard. So that means execute or fi keyword, any one you can use whenever you want to execute your query. So now I selected this entire query and I just click on execute option. Once I click on execute option, then you will be get the command, you will get one message like command completed successful. So this statement, once you got it in your result window, so that means whatever I got it, this statement, this window we called up to here, this window we called as a simply we called as result window. This is my result window. So in this result window, complete your query, that means after query is executed, the query output I can see under this result window. Okay, so after getting this command completed successful, then later you just come out to Object Explorer. But once you will go to Object Explorer and go to directly databases folder, then you can see your database is not showing. Your database is not showing here. So it means what it is here, whatever the new operation I was performed in my server, that every new operation your server will treat it as a new request. So that new request, what I want to do, if I want to update in my server environment, then I just go to refresh. So here one point should be remembered, not only database creation, if you create a new table, if you create a new view, synonym, trigger, whatever, so you should be go to refresh your database folder, otherwise your particular database you can refresh. Once you refresh, what it is happen, what are the new transactions or new queries what you written, what you perform, that all will be updated into your server. So that's what it is happen here, it doesn't showing any database name, but I already created, my database name is what now, my class db. But the database is never showing in my database folder in Object Explorer. Okay, why? Because I didn't refresh this. So now I am going to select to database folder. I just go to click right mouse button and go to refresh. So once I will go to refresh option, then you can see it will be refresh, and you can see that immediately you will get my database. So whatever the database we created now, so just now we created a new database in our server. Our new database name is what now, my class db. So this is what I am saying here, how to create a new database by using query. The query is nothing but simply we can say it is a CUI based environment also we called. So with CUI environment, how I was created my database, you just observed in this. So in this session you clearly understand that how to create a new database by using query through. So now this was happened. After creating this database, and the database will go to store under the related folder, the folder is databases folder. After storing like this here, then later what I want to do, now the later onwards whatever the operations I can perform, like I want to create my table, inserting data, updating data, deleting data, selecting data. So this kind of any database operations you want to perform on a particular database objects, then at this moment you can use my class db. So now I am using this my class db for the next level, whatever I want to perform the next operations. Okay. So now this is what it is here, complete CUI environment I am using to create my database. Okay. So I hope that you can understand. In the same to same, here I am using query through I created, but next to one more environment was there. That environment is what now? GUI environment. So GUI environment means, you know, it is a graphical user interface. That means the user can interacting or user can perform the operations. Okay, instead of writing query, instead of writing command, I can go through some options, I can go through some logical options I am going to follow here. So through that options I am going to create my database in the server. Okay. So how it will create, now we will see now. How to create my new database by using GUI environment. Okay. But before we want to go for the GUI facilities, okay, so I just close my editor, the query editor I don't need here, because I am going to performing my operation or I am going to creating my database by using GUI. So that's why I don't need this query editor. So I am going to close. So I just said no. So I just close my query editor. But now I want to go to create my new database, okay, by using GUI. But how? This GUI facilities, where it will available and who will provide. Okay. So that is important to know. And now I am saying here, now see here, if you want to go for GUI facilities, okay, the thing is what it is now, the GUI facilities will provided by the one window in this server, that window we called a Object Explorer. So now whatever the Object Explorer was there here, okay, whatever the Object Explorer there here, so this window, the main responsibility is what now? To providing GUI facilities. So that means whenever the user is going to perform the GUI operations without writing query or statement or command, then I can use this Object Explorer window to perform my operations. Okay. So now I will go to here, okay, to perform my operations, how I am going to perform. So now we can see, after open your SQL Server Management Studio, okay, so let us see, I will go to give the step by step, okay, I will give it now. So now I just close this application, okay, so I don't wanted this, okay, I am closing. So what I want to do here, now I am going to create a new database by using GUI environment. So for that purpose, you just go to your SQL Server Management Studio, the whatever the icon was there, SSMS icon. So on this icon, you just click. Again, same as usual, okay, how we are going to, okay, connect the same pattern, you just connect it to your server, I just connected. After connected here, then what I want to do here, I said I don't need query editor, okay. So but I need Object Explorer. Why? Because this Object Explorer, whatever it was displayed, this window, so this window is going to provide the complete Object Explorer window, whatever the window was there here, this complete window under this environment, I can go to perform my GUI operations. So whenever user want to perform GUI operations in database, so now you can use your Object Explorer. Okay. So that's why simple I am saying what it is now, Object Explorer is a window which will provide GUI facilities to the user. Okay. So whatever the GUI facilities it will provide, those facilities the users will be using whenever he want to required to perform operations without a query. Okay. So now it will providing GUI facilities, that one point will be confirmed. So later on what I am doing here, now you can see just I am using your Object Explorer only, but I didn't use query editor, but even though I am going to create my database. So how we will create, now we can come out. So after enter into server, you just go to Object Explorer, and after going to Object Explorer here, the connectivity whatever it is there, that you just expand now. After expanding here, you just go to your, okay, database folder, okay, because I am creating database. Okay. So I just select a database now. So select your databases folder. After selected databases folder, I just click on right mouse button. So once you click on right mouse button, okay, there one option will be there now. Okay, once I click on right mouse button, then we are getting one window, and in that window my first option, that option we called as a new, okay, the new database option will be there. So on this option you just come and click on that. Okay, so now I just click on right mouse button and click on new database option. So once I was click on new database option, then you can see the new database window was open. This is called a new database window. Okay, so in this window, can you carefully observe, okay, the database name was there here, and along with my database name, I have some text box control. So in this text box control, what I want to do, the which name do you want to provide for your database, that name you just enter. But after enter here, then you can see for every database purpose internally, after that means while you are creating database internally, some database files are created by the system. So system will create some database files. That what kind of files are created on database means we will see now. So after open this new window, a new database window, just I am going to enter my database name. For example, I enter now. I was enter my database name here. For example, I can say, okay, so my class DB1. The previously I was created my database name is my class DB, and this time I am creating my class DB1. Otherwise, if you have a confusion, you just take any other name, like for example, I can say, okay, my demo. Okay, I was given now. So can you identify here, whenever you want to create or whenever you want to enter the database name, immediately the two data files, if you carefully find out, the two database files are created now. So with the name of my demo, the what name was given there, okay, at the time of database name option. So the same name will be taken here. Okay, this is called the file names will be created. The file what is here, my demo, this file is represented primary file. It's called a primary file, and whatever the my demo underscore log was there, this was we represented log file. Okay, this was we represented log file. So these are two files are created, okay, when you was create your database. But here I can see these files how it will be created. Okay, we will see it because it is a graphically we can show it. But previously what we created in characters CUI environment, the my class DB, so there also the database files are created, but that was created by system internally and storing into C drive. But here also same to same happened, but I can see this because it is a GUI environment. Okay, but same to same files also created for your previous database, which was created by using query through. Okay, so those database files and these database files both are going to store in a particular C drive in our system, that basically the system will go to store. So now this is keep it like this and you just leave. After leave this, then you just come out and here and don't touch add remove. Okay, that's not necessary here. Okay, so now you just come out to click on what now, OK button. So once I will click on OK, once I was click on OK, then I'm going to clicking on OK, then what is happened here, the database was created. But did you identify in this, I didn't write any query, I'm not using any, I'm not used any command or query, but I just using some options through my object explorer. Okay, through that only I just entered my database name, that's it, I didn't do anything. Okay, I just entered my database name in my new database window. So after that what it has happened, you just come out to open your databases folder and see this, your database was created. So what is your database now, my demo. So now here the two databases I was created now, here two databases I was created now. Okay, one is my class DB and one is my demo. But whatever you created the two database in our SQL server, okay, one is a CUI based and one is a GUI. But your difference is what now, CUI, GUI is nothing difference, both are same to same it will be showing. So if you have a C, now if I want to expand my databases now, my class DB and my demo, I just expanded here. Once you want to expand here, the my class DB, okay, whatever I created by using query through, same to same database was created and having some options. So which kind of options are there here? So now we can see database diagrams, tables, views, synonyms, programmability, service broker, storage and security. Okay, the which option are you observed in your my class DB which was created through query? The same kind of options are there which was created by GUI also. So now we can see my demo. So same options are there or not? So database diagrams, tables, views, synonyms, programmability, service broker, storage and security. So that means what is understand here, the creation of database either CUI or GUI is nothing different. Okay, so both environments you can use to create your database applications. Okay, but once I created through GUI, I created through CUI, so there is no differences. Some people they thought is there any difference in between, but there is nothing difference. Okay, now I show you here, so to see every option whatever it is there in my class DB, the same options are there in my demo database also. So that's why there is not a matter in which environment are you created your database, either CUI or GUI. Okay, that's simply you can use either CUI or GUI, any one environment to perform your database operations. Okay, but the thing is what it is here, when I am using CUI, so it will take some time. It is called a time consumer simply. But when I am using GUI, what is happen here? Okay, I don't want to write any query or command. Yes or no? The programmer also is very happy to create because we didn't follow any queries. Okay, directly I am going to follow some steps and create it. Okay, so that means here what it is happen, some better, what is your time saving? In GUI, time saving, but CUI, time consuming, but both are same to same. Okay, so this is what it is, how to create your database by using CUI and GUI environments in SQL Server. Okay, so I hope that you will enjoy this video. Thank you so much, and watch more videos from Naresh IT.